And what do you like most about AMSA?
Everything. AMSA's my home. I got friends, teachers are even my friends. Everybody, like, you feel at home when you come to the school.
I'm Mr. Sweeney, the principal at the Advanced Math and Science Academy Charter School here in Marlborough, Massachusetts. So if you think about AMSA and what it's trying to do, if you've seen the movie Waiting for Superman, the idea and concepts there, hit home. For those who haven't seen it, basically it's looking at America's education system and saying, what are we doing to make sure our students and children get the right education?
Well, I like to call charter schools conditional public schools because you're public in many respects, whereby you need to follow mass curriculum frameworks. Your students need to take the performance exams for MCAS, state-mandated tests. Your funding is based on the same formula that all public schools are funded by, per pupil expenditure. It's just that we draw off of more communities than one specific municipality.
Compared to other schools in the area, and really any school I've looked at in the country, this is probably has the most intensive and complete computer science offering.
Unique program that we offer for grades 6 through 12, and the most important feature about this uniqueness is having it as a mandatory course from 6th through 11th.
I started here back in 6th grade, so I've been here for almost going on 5 years, and from the very beginning in 6th grade up to here and into 12th grade, there are computer science offerings which most schools only offer for a year or two, and everything from learning about the first computers and all the history of computer science to how the hardware to software to actually creating your own programs. It really is an amazing curriculum.
And so you can set up an if statement here.
Introducing the students to the principles of problem solving and then technology is very important because there are many jobs available right now but not enough graduates. The industry is supporting this cause at this point, and it is very important to create technology creators rather than technology users at this point.
AMSA's ELA curriculum is unique in that it's very, very ambitious. It really covers most of the building blocks, sort of philosophically, religiously, culturally, psychologically, of Western literature. It really is a lot different than a lot of other schools where I've worked in that it gives AMSA students the tools to understand literature from the Western tradition, really understanding the foundations of Western literature, and a lot of places where I've been before don't do that as well. Freshman curriculum, for example, we basically start with Cervantes' Don Quixote and talk about that as the foundation for the modern novel. You have a three-dimensional character. You know, most of the kids start out, it's kind of an interesting thing, in the Western tradition in the middle grades. They do a lot of classical mythology. They do Chaucer in middle school, which is very unusual. That's really like graduate level stuff. This is the first school where anyone's really examined Chaucer to any depth. They do Beowulf. You know, they really start getting steeped in the Western tradition very early on in their academic careers. The assignments are pretty big, and the kids just do it as second nature. And they know it's a lot, but they're not intimidated by some of these texts. They just kind of bang them out, and they get a lot out of it. And it's a snowball effect. It's like a mathematics course. You know, you cannot do algebra without understanding arithmetic. You know, and it just builds up and builds up and builds up.
AP Bio kids got to work this past spring with bunnies. What they got to see originally was the parent bunnies, and they got to see their phenotype, which is what they physically look like, and they were told exactly what their phenotype was. And then what they did is the bunnies were bred off-site at a breeder's farm, and then the babies at 8 weeks old were brought back so that the students could see the phenotype of the offspring. And the whole point was that we wanted to challenge our students to come up with what the parents' genotype was, what they genetically looked like based upon what the babies looked like. Hi. And this isn't a ghoulie, so here's a really cool thing about a ghoulies.
Our middle school is by far and away the best in this country. We take a focus, instead of calling it science, we separate it up into the three sciences, the biology, chemistry, physics, and then we tag on earth science on that as well. So the students are really getting a full biology course in grades 6 through 8. They're getting 75% of a chemistry course. These are high school level courses. And in physics, the same, about 75% of that course.
And over 300,000 people died during this, and this is caused from an earthquake, allowing buildings to sink down into the ground, cars that were
I think I'm most proud of where the students get to. I mean, we just offer an environment and information, and what the students take away from it has been truly amazing. I have been constantly impressed by the level of knowledge that our students possess when they leave here.
It really feels good to be part of an organization where everyone has a broad range of experience, massively educated, and really committed educators. And I think that really shows in the way the kids perform on their standardized tests, and you know, just the product that we produce and send off to college here.
We had one student admitted to MIT early. We had 2 of 2 admitted to Harvard early action, which was very exciting. And we actually have 2 students who are were admitted to special 8-year medical school programs directly from high schools. Students admitted to Swarthmore, to Duke, to Let's see, MIT, University of Chicago, University of Michigan, lots of great places.
I like the spirit we have.
It's just full of surprises, you know? When I opened the door today, it was like whoa!
It's always full of surprises, there's always different people to meet.
We're always having a great time up here.
Awesome.
So the goals that are set are really developed and driven by the charter. And that's basically all students at all levels will learn to the highest level possible or achievable. And that's really on the teachers to really reflect on their practices and hone them as they see fit based on student data and student achievement.
The most important thing that we want our students to understand why things work. Not only have skills, though I believe skills are very important, but they need to see what is behind these skills, what is behind these methods, and why these methods work.
The math department has been really helpful over the years. My MCAT scores have been brought up to advanced, so they've been really great.
You can see our growth, and we analyze it from grade 6 all the way through grade 10. And every year for the last 3 years, we've seen high success rates there, where we see student achievement escalating and elevating, particularly in that 10th grade year.
By the 10th grade, if you take a look at our numbers, you can see that we have brought along our students at a very high level of achievement plus growth. All right, in terms of achievement is measured as percent proficient and advanced, and we're at the 99th percent level. But more importantly, perhaps, is in terms of growth. That's how well we bring our students along in comparison to their academic peers. We're also at a very high level. Matter of fact, we're ahead of almost all of the other districts in Massachusetts. So our students are performing incredibly well, and they're growing at a very high rate, and that's extremely satisfying. Maybe that's one of the reasons why we're one of the best high schools in Massachusetts.
My name is Matt Villa. I coach the AMSA high school math team along with Mr. Pettinelli. The math team competes. That's the main thing. We go to math competitions. Some of our math competitions are local. We do them here and send our results in. And then sometimes we go and travel to meets. We compete locally in a league with 35 schools in the Worcester County Math League. We also compete at events in different colleges, and we do very well. This year we came in third in our local league. We're very fortunate. We have a really strong local league that we compete in, very good schools. And we do very well competing also regionally. We do quite well. Last year we finished first in the state. among small schools, and also first in New England, which was a really outstanding result by the team.
So because we teach geometry in parallel, it allows our students to accelerate and take pre-calculus sophomore year, calculus junior year or 11th grade, and then move into multivariable calculus, linear algebra, differential equations, which are college level courses in their senior year.
The problem AMSA was set to solve was that too many American schools aim at the question of how do we satisfy state requirements and how do we get our students to get into a college. They do not, in general, put much thought and much effort into answering this other question. How are we best developing our students so that we know that they will succeed in college, not simply get into college?
I feel like at the beginning of each year, I have to get back into math, and I feel like it's challenging, but as you go through the year, I feel like it's very rewarding that you went through all that challenging math.
Now, I couldn't decide whether I wanted my speech to be inspirational or funny. What you're about to hear is the hideous offspring of the two. It's not pretty, but it gets the job done. Kind of like me, or a woodchuck. So, some may say we've spent an enormous amount of time together. As an AMSonian, I wanted to be a bit more precise. Since our first day of school, 7th grade, on September 6, 2005, we have spent, give or take a few, 181,900,000 seconds together. And yes, I checked my work. Now, after all those seconds, there's a lot you probably won't remember about your time at AMSA. To the dismay of some, you probably won't remember the exact date of the Battle of the Bulge or how to conduct a titration. Sorry, You probably won't remember exactly how to do a two-sample t-test on this thingy here. And you probably won't remember this speech. I could spout off tons of crazy cliches telling you to reach for your dreams and to be everything you can be and fly as high as a bird on this marvelous journey called life. But those are boring, and even I probably wouldn't remember what I said after a couple of days. So what then will we remember from this time at AMSA? What we remember are the people, the great friends who have always been there to help us and make us smile. And we remember the parents and teachers who put in effort day after day to help us get where we are now and resisted the urge to trade us for moves. It's the people that we cherish that make life worth living, and it's the experiences that we've had with them that will never fade.
Flip a coin, where the heads or its tails. Will you leave me alone? Will you leave me alone inside? I'm not down, I'm held in the crowd. So just leave me alone, leave me alone inside. I'm not calling, so when will you come and make me the best in the world? There's no end to this little song, and it may be the best in the world.